Ciencia.
Hello YouTube and YouTubers. Kind of want to do a little video on an introduction for Aphrodite. I want to start, interviewing some other people and have them talk about their bikes, so I figured I should do mine first. In the same video, I'm also going to have how I wired up my Nitrous controller, which is this right here, which is a Nitrous or NOS mini 2-stage controller. It's not on right now, but I'm putting the air shifter on hopefully today, tomorrow, which will also be in this video. Now Aphrodite I bought from a friend of mine a little over a month and a half, 2 months ago now, right about. She is a 2014 gsxr 750. When I bought it, it was tuned by Chris Hall, just on motor. I had a stock air filter, cat delete, and a slip-on, stock gearing, and it also had extension blocks on it. Now I put in a BMC air filter, changed the plugs, did a full tune-up on it basically. Added the Nitrous. What else? Went one down in the front on sprockets and 2 up on the back. When I first got the bike, I took it to the track, and the best I ran was a 10.29, I believe. And then I did the sprockets, and I went down to 10.1s all night long. Now I got the Nitrous on there, but haven't tested yet. I will, I'm hoping for like at least 9.5s, especially with the Nitrous and the air shifter. These are Chinese fairings, and I gotta tighten this up. It came loose. It's a burnt orange color, which I absolutely love. Plan on putting some carbon fiber on it. And get a full exhaust system sooner or later. Getting an actual real stretch swing arm. Also, like I was saying, I brought it to Chris Hall recently and had it tuned again. Just checked the motor tune after I did those things, and I also took out the pair valve. I made 131 on motor, which any given day that could have been a little different, and made 167 on Nitrous. So I'm definitely interested to see what it's going to do at the track. But that's it for now, and I'll come back after I got the air shifter in and kind of explain how I did all that. The tail section will be off so you can see where I placed everything. Gas tank might even be off, so we'll see how this goes. All right, so we are about 90% of the way done wiring up the kill box with the air shifter. Nitrous controller is completely hooked up. The kill box is completely hooked up, but I need to get a little bit more airline, another 3-way, and a tank for the airline. I got a Johnson's air shifter. If you notice, my airline's at the top instead of the bottom. That's because I GP shift. So basically, if you want it to push down, you go to the top, and if you want it to pull up, you go to the bottom. There's some nice features about this Nitrous controller. Like, you get this digital display that turns on. From the factory, it's set to max out at 9,000 RPMs, but you can go inside and go up to 1,500 RPMs, which, being on a sports bike, that's where you want to be for that. There's literally nothing, you know, where I could look up to find out about this bike. You know, to help me with this is a 750. Most people race 1000s and higher. I will start off with the air shifter. The air shifter, did a little bit of research, but couldn't really come up with much about mounting this, because like I said, everything's for 1000s and up. I bought a bracket that goes right here on the 1000s, but for me, with it pushing down, it was too long, so it wouldn't, you know, I ran out of piston. So what I did is I drilled a 5/16 hole here and put a 5/16 bolt with a nut and some Loctite so it don't back out. Now, everything I read says that this piston should have a little bit of free play, so I put a spring here so it has some give, but it also holds it in place. I put 2 nuts here to basically work as a lock nut for now. I'm gonna go and buy a lock nut and put it on, and then cut that bolt down a little bit. If you are standard shifting, you probably want to go a little bit higher on this, like maybe here, and drill a hole. Actually, no, that wouldn't work, because then this shift would be turned around the other way. So you might actually be able to get around this and drill a hole somewhere behind here and use that. Now, controlling this, you know, we got this little air switch right here, which is controlled by the kill box. Now, the kill box is pretty simple to install. You got 4 brown wires, which they go to the coils. You know, negative side on each one. This is a Suzuki, so I think most Suzukis, the ground wire is different on each coil, where the power wire is the same. Then you have these 2 green wires right here. Those are your activation for the air switch. Now, there's 2 different ways you can do this. I'm gonna walk over to the other side of the bike. What I did is, because I don't ever use the horn anyways, I hooked straight up to the connection for the horn, so I didn't have to splice into anything, cut any wires or anything like that. Your red wire will go on the side that always has power when the bike is on. Your blue would go on the ground side, which is your activation. Then we have the black head ground wire, which I just went to a frame ground, which you could see kind of back in there. Then you have your a black wire that's with the red and blue on this little thing, this little connector right here, that goes straight to your battery. Let's see, so red, yeah, so we went through all that. Also, the kill box came with some Velcro double-sided tape stuff, so I used that to mount my air switch and also place this here. Now also, I got the new updated version of the MPS kill box, and on the older ones there's a dial on the front where you just turn it to change your kill time. On this one you got little dip switches in there, 1, 2, 3, and 4. One changes it by 40 microseconds, 2, 30, 3, 20, and 4 is by 10. I wanted the SRS, but they were 2 weeks under back order, and the hunting season event is coming up this weekend, so I was trying to be ready. So I just ordered that one. Then for, you know, I believe that's everything with the air switch. Alright, so for the NOS mini controller, you have a blue and a red wire. The blue wire is your primary activation, and the red wire is your secondary. So the ground wire from your nitrous solenoid goes here, you know, and then your negative or positive I ran to a relay, so that went to my blue wire, which, you know, powers the solenoid. Then the red wire, which is always powered from the battery. The yellow wire is the negative for the relay, and then there's a green wire that connects to the white wire on the nitrous controller. Now that is the power for the solenoid from the nitrous controller. From there you have a white and red and a white and blue, which you can see right there. That goes to your TPS sensor, or throttle position sensor. Your throttle position sensor is going to be on the right side of the bike. It's back behind here and down in here. Like you see the red and white and the blue and white wire. Blue and white's for primary, red and white's for secondary. I'm not going to use secondary, but I figured I would just hook it up anyways. So on mine, there's 3 wires. You got a ground, a hot, and the throttle position sending wire. I looked at a schematic and, you know, I figured it out, because basically the sending wire only runs back to the computer, doesn't connect to anything else. Also, it'll be the only wire that fluctuates with power as you pull this. So if you wanted to, you could, you know, test those wires with a probe. Then you have this green wire, which runs to the negative side on coil 1. What that does is tell the nitrous controller what RPMs you're at. And on this controller you could have it where it, even though you're at full throttle, it won't turn on until a certain RPM and shut off at a certain RPM. This nitrous controller is really nice. I love this display right here. I am gonna have a C21 code because, as you can see, the air filter is not on there, and this air, you know, intake sensor is not hooked up. So you see right now it's at 0 RPMs. Give me a second, I'm gonna start the bike. Anyone who knows Suzuki's, it takes 2 hands to turn it on. You gotta hold the clutch and hit the start button. that's when I was hitting the button to activate it. I did check yesterday. I could feel this click when, you know, when I hit the activation button, so I'm pretty sure that works. I just need an air tank, which I'll probably be buying today or tomorrow to, you know, finish the install. But I'm gonna have all this closed back up for that, and I figured this was a perfect opportunity to make a video. I definitely recommend this NOS controller. It came recommended from a few other guys, and it's really great. One thing I almost forgot, you got the air compressor also, which came with the Johnson's kit for like 180 bucks. Not bad, but you know, then I had to buy the kill box for like 160, and I want to say this NOS controller is another 200 bucks. Plus you got the Nitrous kit, which I got used with 2 bottles for I think 325 bucks I paid. So you know, I'm obviously about $1,000 into this. But if you watched my last video, you know, just with the Nitrous, she put down some really great numbers, at least what I think. So I think so anyways, back to this. So we got the air compressor. It's pretty simple to hook up. You got one wire off of this, which is black, which goes straight to your ground, you know, over here. And then you got the red wire, which goes to a switch, and then from there put a fuse to the battery. You could also run a relay, but I didn't think it was really necessary for that, but I could be wrong. Also, I had a 7.5 amp fuse in this originally, and it blew it after like very quickly. Not as soon as I turned it on, but now I got a 10 in there, and it seems to be working fine. But yeah, that's basically, you know, I decided to do this because there's no information on these bikes or most of the stuff that I hooked up. That's also my on-off switch for the NOS controller, which I almost forgot. So there's a couple more things on this. So you got one black wire that in the directions, I believe they call it a so they got 2 grounds. One comes with an end on it. That's that one right there. That goes straight to your battery. The other one, you just go to a frame ground. It's pretty simple. If you got any questions, comment, you know, please subscribe. And I'm gonna start putting this baby back together. One more thing I wanted to add to this video. Alright, so a lot of people put their air tanks like right here on the side of the frame and their compressors, but I literally, everywhere I tried putting this compressor, this wheel wanted to rub on something. Like, there's literally no room in the 14 gsxr 750. So I had to put everything in this cargo area, which if I ever need to change anything or check something, I literally have to take my whole tail apart. As you can see, it is very tightly fit in there. Cleaned up most of the wiring. You know, I could probably get it a little bit better, but at this point I'm kind of done. But yeah, that's Aphrodite with her setup right now.